There's still police departments across the country that are asking women to remove their hijabs and asking anyone to remove a religious head covering for booking photos. That's still happening. I've seen very many news articles recently about it in ways that I had not seen before. Muslims are in the streets a lot more often. They're being arrested as part of protests. I do think that it's happening in larger numbers.
This U.S. attorney says that more and more Muslim women are being forced to remove their hijabs as a result of attending recent protests. Sana Mayat, who recently won a landmark case against the New York City Police Department, denounces these violations against religious freedom. Listen to what she told TRT World.
So Jamila Clark and Arwa Aziz are two Muslim women who wear hijab, and they were both forced to remove their hijabs for booking photos by the New York Police Department. Both sobbing, they were very, very distraught and upset. There were several male officers around them at the time. These photos are retained by the New York Police Department and available for others to see for an indefinite amounts of time. It's not just some random person on the street that's ripping off someone's hijab, but it's the state that's doing it. It's the police that's doing it, pursuant to a written policy that's telling them that it is required to remove it. It was in the policy that anyone who's wearing a head covering, whether it's religious or otherwise, would have to remove it for a booking photo. You're allowed to keep a religious head covering on for passport photos, for driver's licenses. And so the idea that it's necessary in a police context and for a booking photo doesn't make a lot of sense. So both of them were extremely distraught by all of this, I was sitting with them for quite some time, and then they decided to bring this case. So there's two parts of the settlement, actually. So one part of the settlement was in 2020, where the NYPD agreed to revise the policy. So now the policy is that you are allowed to maintain a religious head covering unless it obstructs a lot of your face. And then the second part of the policy is more backwards looking. It's for everyone who this happened to under that old policy. And it's to pay everyone who had their religious head coverings removed in this way to compensate them for what they went through. And it's between 2014 and 2021 is the time period. So about 3,600 or 39 around there of our class members, of people that are entitled to compensation. It's been a lot of also having to teach the court and having to teach the city about what it means when you remove a Muslim woman's hijab, and how the violation is so much deeper, and that it's not just you're violating your religion, but you're being violated as your body is being violated. I mean, New York City has a very deep history of policing Muslims, of very intense law enforcement against Muslims. And so I think there's just something so empowering about seeing them both come forward against the New York Police Department to say that this should not have happened and should not happen to anyone else.